Hi, my tubies, my Teletubbies. Let me put a light on here so that way we can get to see each other. As you see again, I'm taking the lazy way out. Oh, I'm laying in my bed. And it feels so good. Yes. Anyway, enough of that. I am laying here and I wanted to share something with you. It's from a guy who I've been, well, hanging out with, if you will. Not even hanging out with literally, but you know how you do FaceTime and you look at their channel and blah blah blah. This is a guy who's an Oriental guy. He's Asian, but he was raised in England. And I wanted to share this with you. And my sole purpose for doing this is because it explains a lot about why so many people are intimidated by ebony women, you know? And after listening to this guy explain all of this stuff to me, I was like, wow. You know, the things that people associate femininity with, they associate femininity with how much abuse do you take? Are you a doormat? I'm hoping that you don't stand up or speak up for yourself because that's so not feminine. You know what I mean? That's not feminine. Anyway, let's listen to Daniel. And on his YouTube channel, guess what his YouTube channel's name is? Hiding in My Room. So he takes us on the tour to show us Japan. He takes us to Japan. He takes us to England. My dad is from England, Liverpool. And this is interesting to me. You know, let's listen in. Stay with me.
People ask me, hey Daniel, how come you've never dated a black woman before? What do you think about black women? Do you feel attracted to black women? And I wanted to make today's video to talk about that thing. I've never had a physical relationship with a black woman or a black person. I've never had a romantic relationship with a black woman before. I had a friend who was black once. That was the only black person I ever knew. I just don't really have much interaction with black people in the first place. So that might be one of the reasons why I've never dated a black woman before. I used to have this black friend called Joseph. I met him at the guest house as well. He was really nice. He was from Britain. And yeah, so I had a black friend, so I don't think you can call me racist. And I always used to eat dinner with him. He would cook me spaghetti and then I would do the washing up. And I would help him with his Japanese because he kept asking me questions. How do you say this in Japanese? How do you say this? And then when he wanted to talk to his Japanese friend.
Now keep in mind, we're talking to a man who's a Japanese Asian. And he says he's not racist because he had a black friend. God knows everybody hates to hear that. But it's true. I don't think he's a racist. I really don't, to be quite frank. Because I've been on his channel. His name is Hiding in My Room. Which is interesting. And he tells you about all his insecurities. This is way interesting. So if you guys ever get a chance to like go on YouTube and type in Hiding in My Room, we're going to get to understand the Asian culture a whole lot more. And to me, I find it fascinating. I don't know about you, but it's interesting. Let's listen.
I had to translate for him, even though he lived in Japan for 2 years.
Whoa, it's commercial. Commercial, that means he's getting paid.
2 years, he couldn't speak a word of the language. The only time I've ever met a black woman was maybe a few years ago in Japan in a guest house. And I never spoke to her, she never spoke to me. But she did used to stare at me a lot. I remember sitting in the living room, and every time I looked up, she would be sitting there in front of me.
Staring at me.
And then when I looked up, she would quickly look away. That was a bit strange. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that black women are unattractive or they're ugly. I'm just saying that I've never actually met a black woman who I felt incredibly attracted to. They do have very nice big round bums, which I find very attractive.
Whatever.
I'm not sure why I came to Japan if that's what I'm attracted to, because Japan is like the land of of small bums and no boobs. And I've never met a black woman who was also physically or romantically interested in me. So that's the reason why I've never had the chance to actually date a black woman. If I was single again, then would I like to have intercourse? Would I like to try intercourse with a black woman? Yeah, why not? I'm always up for trying new things, and I do kind of regret that I never got the chance to try it when I could have tried it. If I had the opportunity to try it out and it was no strings attached, just like a 1 or 2 time thing, would I be interested in taking that opportunity?
Now, did you hear what he said? He says that if he had the opportunity to have sex with an ebony woman, he would go for it. Hell yeah. He's never tried it. He's never experienced it. As long as it's going to be like a one-time thing, but he doesn't have a clue. Once you go black, you never go back. But he's still naive. But that's okay. Because we know how to school him, don't we? He thinks that, oh, he could go black and go back. That's so not going to happen. Ever. Because once you get a taste of us, honey, it's hard to go back. Studies have shown evidence. But one thing that I wanted to bring attention to and wanted to stress here is why I admire the way he feels. I admire the way he feels because he's loyal to his own race. As you listen to him speak, he's going to tell you how he is going to be loyal to someone who looks like him. You know? I love the way this man sees things to some extent. Some women get offended. They be like, yeah, he wants to screw us, but he don't want to marry us. Of course you want the experience with us, darling. I mean, yeah. I mean, why settle for less when you can have the very best? Let's continue to listen.
I would say the answer would be leaning towards yes. I think that one of the main reasons why I don't feel amazingly attracted to black women is just because I don't identify myself as a black person. I don't see myself as a black person. And when it comes to looking for a woman, I kind of want a woman who looks a bit like me. For example, you wouldn't have a tiger feeling attracted to a lion because they look completely different.
Did you hear what he just said? And black men, you need to listen up, straight up. You don't see a tiger sitting up there being attracted to a lion because they're totally different. He wants a woman who looks similar to him. Because, like me, I like, personally, me, I like Hispanic men, to be quite honest, because to me, they're black anyway, whatever. My children are half Hispanic, Italian, and black. And the reason I went that route because because the black men weren't treating me right, and they always met me and they wanted to have sex ASAP. The Hispanic Italian man, he was willing to wait. He was patient. He was romantic. He was willing to wait and treat me like a lady. The black men, all they wanted to do was treat me like I was, a piece of ASS. I'm not trying to go that route. Are they serious? Are they serious? Were they aware who they was dealing with? Anyway, I love the way this man thinks in terms of I want someone who looks like me. Me too. When I look at my partner, I want to look over at him or her, or him if you're gay. I want to be reminded of my strength. I want to be reminded of all the things that we've been through, and I would always be with someone who's ebony, who's successful. Because when I look at how successful you are and you're ebony, that is my inspiration. That is my motivation to keep on trucking, to keep on going for it. Because look at you. Like if I was married to someone, let's say I'm gay and I was married to someone like Oprah Winfrey, she's dark skinned. Dark skin. Okay? When you think about light-skinned Caucasian people, no disrespect to my vanilla sisters, God knows I'm not trying to offend you. At the same time, it is what it is. The truth is the truth. Caucasian people have had a 400 years, man, a head start. 400-year head start. Ebony people was behind 400 years, and look at where ebony people are now. Oprah Winfrey, she's worth $3 billion. She's not just a billionaire. She's worth $3 billion. And you have Caucasian people who had this 400-year head start. Head start. They're not even close to where she is. And look at a lot of the black and ebony people who are billionaires, millionaires, and all of that, even though we didn't have no head start. Can you imagine if we started out at the same gate fairly, where we would be? Come on now. Let's keep it real. Let's continue with Daniel. Hiding in my room. The Asian guy. Come on, Daniel. Talk to me.
What I'm trying to say is my ideal woman would basically just be a clone of myself. A female clone of myself. And instead of having a penis, it will have a vagina. If I was a black man, then yeah, I could totally see myself with a black woman. It's just that I'm not black.
When what you really wanted more than anything was to press them to you.
Could listening to her favorite story bring them close?
Not black. And...
But did you hear what he said? If I was a black man, then I could definitely see myself with a black woman. The man has loyalty. He has integrity. It's called Asian people. He wants somebody who's a clone. He said a clone of himself. They understand the history of you. They understand what you've been through. They get it. They actually get it.
I prefer to go for Asian girls because I see myself as an Asian person more than a white person.
Right.
And I just want a wife or a woman in my life who looks like me.
Thank you.
Even if it's just a little bit. So the answer to that question is no, I don't think black people are unattractive. There's lots of attractive black people. It's just that my personal preference tends to go towards more Asian-looking women. Initial impressions of black women would be they're not the most feminine or delicate of the women's on this planet. They're very strong-willed, which is a great thing. They're very strong-minded. They speak their minds. They're not the kind of people to just like back down and take it. And I guess, yeah, I do find that to be a bit intimidating. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing that they're strong enough to stand up for themselves. I think one of the main reasons why Japan has such a big...
Did you hear what he just said? And that's the number one reason why I wanted you to hear this video. He said the reason why that he can't see himself too much with an ebony woman is because they're strong-willed. They're strong women. He said that's not a bad thing. They stand up for themselves. They speak up for themselves. And that's what men don't like. Not even men, actually. Abusive men. Or scrawny, weak men. That's what they don't like about ebony women. You see, the other races of women, they are passive. No offense to my other races of women, but the facts are the facts. Black ebony women are strong. And nobody wants a person who they can't walk all over. We're not doormats. You heard it yourself, folks. Rewind this, rewind it, and hear it again from him. Okay? He admitted that the reason why he's intimidated, they're intimidated by ebony women. What intimidates them? Our strength. Okay? Everything that everyone admires about us is our strength. We're strong women. We've been through a lot. And guess what? Still, we rise. Come on now. Oprah Winfrey. You think about all these other ebony women who are, what is that? The woman that played in, what was that, Scandal? You think about all the women like Cicely Tyson. You think about females like Angela Bassett, Felicia Rashad. You know, we didn't have a 400 year head start. A head start. Come on now. We started way at the back of the line. And look at how we are. Of course they're intimidated. A lot of these Caucasian men push up on me. I had one the other day. You're never going to believe this nonsense. He was 24 years old. He said, I want to take you out to the movies. And I was like, are you serious? How old are you? 24. Are you serious? I have children older than you, sweetheart. I don't care. He said, what difference does age matter? Yeah. I said, well, that leans a little bit towards perverted. What do you think? Whatever. Anyway, so I have Caucasian men pushing up on me. I have mostly Polish, Irish, I love Italians. I was dating this Italian guy named Dale. Oh, he was my Italian stallion. Loved him because he had brown skin. He looked like he was baked in the sun. He was brownish looking. My preference is Hispanic, Puerto Rican. To me, those are the most manly men of all men. But that's just my view. Sorry about that. That's just my viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? Feelings are not facts. If you look at my other video, I have that. Feelings are not facts. I like Hispanic men because they've treated me better, and I find them to be very machismo, and they're very sexy, and they are reasonable. You know, I love Hispanic men. My children are Hispanic and Italian. I mixed it up because black men just wasn't treating me right. They were stupid as hell. So I got married to a Hispanic. He was beautiful, long eyelashes, all the above. But anyway, he screwed up. He cheated on me once. But I told you, once you cheat on Sheila True Love, you cannot come back from that. You just can't. You see, because cheating is never a mistake. It's a choice. It's a decision. So I couldn't get past it. Sorry. Anyway, it was over. Anyway, let's finish up listening to Daniel. Hiding in my room.
Problem with sexual harassment is because Japanese women aren't strong like that. They're more passive, they're quieter. If something happens to them on the train and they get touched up, they're less likely to start shouting about it or make a fuss about it. They'll just stay quiet. If the same thing happened to a black woman, I don't think she would just stand there and keep quiet. I would imagine her turning around and saying, "What the fuck you doing?" I don't know. I've never actually met a black woman before. I don't know any black women. Maybe I'm wrong.
You heard what he just said? He said the reason why he's leaning more toward Japanese women is because they're more passive. For instance, if they was on a train and somebody pushed up on this Japanese woman, rubbing their penis all up on her, she would just stay quiet. She would just stand there and just be passive like a mouse. But he said, if this were to happen to an ebony woman, a black woman, she's going to be like, yo, what's up? What are you doing? I'm sorry, excuse me. No, I'm sorry, not excuse me. Excuse you. What's going on, dude? Is there a problem here? Yeah. You see, that's what men don't like. The black men that are going towards all these other races of women, that's why they're going to other races of women. Because an ebony woman is going to stand up for herself. She's going to speak up for herself. No, you can't treat me any old kind of way and think that I'm just going to shut up. You heard what this Asian guy, Japanese, and he was raised in England because you hear his accent. Yeah, he says, yeah, because I'm going to play it again. I'm going to listen to what he says. Check this out.
Maybe there are plenty of shy and turning around and saying, "What the fuck you doing?" I don't know. I've never known any black women. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are plenty of shy and quiet and passive black girls as well out there.
You're right.
They get touched up. They're less likely to start shouting about it or make a fuss about it. They'll just stay quiet.
Hold up.
I think one of the main reasons why Japan has such a big problem with sexual harassment is because Japanese women aren't strong like that. They're more passive, they're quieter. If something happens to them on the train and they get touched up, they're less likely to start shouting about it or make a fuss about it. They'll just stay quiet. If the same thing happened to a black woman, I don't think she would just stand there and keep quiet. I would imagine her turning around and saying, "What the fuck you doing?" I don't know. I've never actually met a black woman before. I don't know any black women.
You see, so that's pretty much why you see so many black men going to these other races of women. Because like this Asian person said, if you do certain things to ebony women, she's not going to put up with that. No, I'm not a doormat. God created me to be a helper. I'm not here for you to abuse me, disrespect me, treat me poorly, take advantage of me. That's so not going to happen. But like he admitted, you heard it. It's not just me. Yo, because the other women, they're not going to say nothing. It's like that with my vanilla sisters too, no offense. Black man coming at all these crazy hours. He sit up here doing all kind of what? And you sit there and you're quiet about it. Whereas an ebony woman, oh, I'm sorry, it's 2:00 in the morning. You're walking up in here thinking that this is acceptable. And it's not. You see, the thing about ebony women is we keep our men strong. Because when you put up with all this nonsense, all you're doing is emasculating him. You're making him weaker and weaker and weaker. Like they say, coffee is its strongest when it's black. You start putting cream all up in the coffee, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. Come on now. No. You know? Am I into interracial marriages or relationships? Sure I am. When you have your own people already in order and already together. Ebony people need to focus on fixing our situation. We need work, okay? And there's a shortage of black men. There's way too many black households, Ebony, whatever you choose to call it, that need men in the house. So instead of them sitting up here trying to help out other races and all this, my personal viewpoint, and I'm sure you respect me because I respect yours. And if you don't agree with me, my vanilla sisters, my chocolate sisters, whatever sisters, yellow sisters, my Chinese, that's cool. I love you anyway. But we are entitled to our viewpoint. I think that black men need to focus on building up their own race of women because you have like what? 40% of black men in jail. 25% are gay. 10% or 15% hate their own skin tone and therefore they hate their own race of women. Nah, we got way too much of a shortage of black men for them to be going outside their race when you have so many black and ebony homes that need men up in it. Come on now. And you know I'm not against interracial. My children are interracial. Because I had no choice for the very reasons that I just said to you. What, 45, half of them in jail, gay, don't hate their own skin tone. What choice did I have if I wanted to have children, considering, you know, women, we have an age that we have to focus on here. I had no choice. Black men was not treating me properly, man. The only thing they want to meet you and jump in bed with me. What do I look like? I'm not a crackhead. I don't use heroin. I'm not into crystal meth. I'm not a prostitute, nor am I a thought. So you want to sit up here and think that you're going to jump into bed with me? Hey, that don't work, brother. That's never happening. I'm not no goddamn whore. What are you working with here? Are you serious? So I end up having children with my children are biracial. No fault of mine. I had no choice. Black men didn't give me a choice. Because, like this Asian man said, they don't want strong women. They don't want women who are going to stand up and speak up for themselves. They want women who are mousy. They want women who are passive. They want doormats. So when you see a black man, I think, this is my viewpoint. It's just a viewpoint. Feelings are not facts, as you know. It's just my viewpoint, and I'm entitled to it. I don't think you should throw me under the bus because I have different feelings from yours. My feeling is when I see a black man outside of his race, he's just showing the whole world how weak-minded he is and how easy it is to conquer him. You know, he's not a soldier at all. He's easily conquered, making him weak, and therefore we don't need him on our team anyway. Not really.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are plenty of shy and quiet and passive black girls as well out
Hardly. There. No, not really.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen an Asian man and a black girl couple before. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe Asian men feel intimidated by black women. That maybe they don't feel masculine enough to be able to handle a black girl. It's just that I've never seen that couple pair before.
Do I need to play that again? Did you hear what he said? Well, I see a lot of Asian men with ebony women because I can show it to you from Instagram. But they're intimidated because they don't feel that they are manly enough. They can't handle an ebony woman. So ebony women, we should feel amazing. I'm sorry that these guys are intimidated. You're intimidated by a woman who won't let you abuse her. That's what you're intimidated by? Because I'm going to speak up for myself? I'm going to stand up for myself? Are you serious? That makes you, my buddy, my friend, a narcissist. Straight up and down. You want someone you can abuse. Someone you can treat badly, take advantage of. And like he said, I don't know. I've never stood up to a woman, a black woman, because I feel intimidated. What does intimidated mean? It means to some extent you feel like I'm better than you. I'm more powerful than you. You can't measure up to me. You're intimidated. I make you feel uncomfortable because of my strength, because of my common sense. Oh, I'm sorry. I know what it is. I'm sorry. It's my healthy self-esteem. And you hate my confidence. Am I right? That intimidates you. How sad is that?
In Japan...
Wait, I'm going to play it again.
And saying, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know. I've never actually met a black woman before. I don't know any black women. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are plenty of shy and quiet and passive black girls as well out there. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen an Asian man and a black girl couple before.
Are you sure?
And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe Asian men feel intimidated by black women. That maybe they don't feel masculine enough to be able to handle a black girl. It's just that I've never seen that couple pair before, ever. In Japan, not...
But you have to keep in mind, the name of his videos is called Hiding in My Room. He doesn't go out much. Of course he hasn't seen it. The man needs to travel more. He needs to get out more because, honey, if he has Instagram or if he has any of the social apps, you know what I'm saying? You have numerous Asian men who are with ebony women, which I don't understand why ebony women are with them. Only reason why I would be with an Asian man is because of his, it's got to be true love, and I fall in love with his brain. Literally. Because I've dated 2 Asian men, believe me. They wanted to take me around to meet their family immediately. Mom, look, I got a girlfriend. They wanted to show me off. Talk about narcissistic moves, moving too fast. That was too fast. Yeah. One was studying to be a doctor. The other one, I met him at a club, so he was happening. He had a little swag. So I was like, okay, maybe we could work this. But when we got back to my place, no, we definitely can't work this.
Anywhere else, even in England. Actually, my sister did date a black guy before. But that's kind of different because it's a black guy and my sister. My own sister doesn't even like Asian guys. I have watched black people having cereal on the internet before, but to be honest, I don't really feel that aroused when I watch it. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's the same reason, going back to the tiger-lion analogy again. Maybe it's the same reason why if tigers watch 2 lions mating, the tiger isn't really going to feel excited or aroused, is it? I don't know. I've never been a tiger before.
Interesting.
I had this dream about a tiger last night, actually. And it was trying to eat me. I don't even know if black women would be interested in me in the first place. I'm not a very masculine guy. I'm pretty feminine. And maybe I wouldn't be able to handle a black woman. Maybe black women in general prefer more masculine guys. Is that just something that I think to be true when it's not actually true? Are there any black women watching this who...
He says, are there any ebony women, black women watching this who can give you some insight? And I made my comments to him. Let me tell you what black women are women. I'm not talking about thoughts or drug addicts. We're talking about women, real women. Ebony women are attracted to men who have confidence. We like black men. Let me tell you why I prefer, if I could, I told you I do Spanish because that's the next best thing. But if I could, I would definitely take a black man because black men are courageous. Black men have courage. Black men see what they want. They're not afraid to speak to a woman on the street. You look at all these other races of men, like a Caucasian, Japanese, Chinese, whatever. They all like see a woman that they like. They don't step to a black man. He'd be like, yo, baby, yo, baby, yo, baby. What's up, ma? What's up? They have courage. Black men have charisma. What makes them have charisma? I don't know. It's their swag. What is swag? Swag to me is coolness. It's a certain coolness, and I'm not talking about black men with their pants hanging off their behind and their crack. Those are called garbage. Those are called no good. I don't want to use the N word. That's called trash. Is garbage. Let me tell you what swag is. Swag is a black man who, he's mad cool. He's down to earth. He understands where you coming from. He's easy to talk to. He's swag. He knows how to have a good time. Like with Caucasian people, you ever notice how they're so obsessed when it comes to rules? They always want to follow the rules as long as it don't apply to them. Now, they could mess up or big time, all the time messing up. Yeah, no problem. But when it comes to looking at other people, mind you, they're so focused on the rules of everything. Ebony men, we're going to have a good time. They don't care about rules. They care about living life. God gave us life to live. Ebony men, black men, they have swag. Swag is coolness. Swag is down to earth. Swag is, I hear you. Swag is somebody who's easy to talk to. Swag is a certain attitude that you have. It's confidence. Swag is, I don't give a damn about outside validation. Don't need it because I know who I am. That's swag. That's the swag that black men have. You don't have too many ebony women that want to go elsewhere. Not really. Because like I said, when you have the best, you don't want to settle for less. Do I think black men are the best? I'm pissed with their butt. I'm pissed. Because they're sellouts, man. They're selling out. They ain't got no integrity. They need work. They keep showing the whole freaking world that they're weak-minded and easy to be conquered. I don't like that part. But, I take the second next best thing to Hispanic. Because I can't do black men. A lot of them are on the down low. I ain't feeling none of that. But ebony men or black men are something that a lot of races want because they're manly. They're masculine. It's not about you want a thug. I don't want no goddamn thug. I want a man. And when it comes to the black man, they step up. They got courage. They have a certain amount of confidence. They have this, rejection. Okay, then you ain't the last chick on the planet. Next. That's their attitude. Whereas Caucasian men, they're very, and I don't mean to offend you, you guys are scared of every damn thing, man. You're scared. You see an ebony woman that you love, and I've had them, a lot of Caucasian men approach me. A lot of Caucasian men. I've been in the club with a Caucasian man. We went to Brooklyn, okay? When we went to Brooklyn, and I was in the club with this Caucasian guy, the black men weren't feeling that too much. They was ready to almost punch his face out because they said, you're not going to come into our place and disrespect us. They saw it as being disrespectful for me to be with a Caucasian man as being disrespectful. But they don't have no problem laying up with all these Caucasian women and all these other races. That pissed me off. So we managed to get out of that situation. But the point is, that's why so many other races of men, they love ebony women. They want us. Of course they do. What's not to want? We age beautifully. Our skin is chocolate. What is chocolate? When people are depressed, it's recommended that they go to dark chocolate or chocolate. It lifts your spirits. It makes you happy. And that's what we do. What's not to want? Our nipples, come on now. They're like raisins. They're like, you know what Hershey Kisses are? Hershey Kisses are what our nipples look like. It's the best. But they're so afraid. All these other races know they want ebony women, but they're scared of the black man. They're terrified of the black man. So now you wonder why everybody wants to be with the black man, because they're warriors. They got all of you other races of men scared, shaking in your boots when it comes to trying to take their women. They could do what the hell they want, but don't you dare step to their women. Because it's on and popping, brother. I saw it myself. I experienced it in Brooklyn at a club. So anyway, I wanted you to hear this. And in closing, I don't know what to say. Actually, I don't even have a closing. This is Sheila True Love. Loving you. Just wishing I knew what was up and going on or whatever. You always have a choice, my darling, still, however. So always choose wisely. Always choose wisely. Until next time. Adios, amigos. Hispanic Bobby, yes.